Today we're taking the new Tacoma on a Sunday afternoon drive up to Cheaha Mountain. Nothing big, just stretching the truck's legs a little bit and getting myself back out into some fresh air. Now I'm still kind of in that grounded phase after the wreck, but I figured this would be an easy drive. It's familiar roads, but we should get a nice view out of it. And it's a chance to see how this truck does on a longer drive without doing anything my back's gonna regret later. Right now the setup is super basic, and honestly, I'm all right with that. One of the first things that I liked about this truck was the interior and its simplicity. Comfortable seats, normal buttons and knobs, no giant tablets stuck to the dash, no crazy light show every time you turn it on. For me, that's actually relaxing. Less stuff to poke at and distract you, and more space for looking out the window and enjoying the journey. All right, let's get rolling and see how this thing feels on the way up to the mountain. And on pavement like this, the stock ride is really nice. It's smooth, it's quiet, it feels like it would be perfect for a daily driver. But you can tell it's tuned more for comfort than for hauling or rough roads. It kind of floats a little bit, which is great for riding down the highway or going around town for errands. But down the road, I'd love to play with the suspension a little bit. Maybe a slightly better shock setup and a little bit bigger tires. But right now, everything is brand new. And there's something valuable about learning the truck in its stock form first. You get a baseline, and that way when you actually do change something, you can really feel the difference. This is the kind of drive that I love for resetting my head. There's really no objective, just going out, sightseeing. There's been a lot of adjustments since the wreck, slowing down, changing plans, thinking about what I can and can't do comfortably. And drives like this can help me make peace with that. I can still get out, I can still see new views, I can still wake up to see another day. It just looks a little different than it did before. A quick fuel stop before we head the rest of the way up towards Cheaha. So far I've been pretty happy with the gas mileage. I mean, it gets around 18 to 20 plus miles to the gallon depending on how I drive. But for a truck that I know I'll eventually load down and start towing with, I'm all right with that. But one thing I'm not crazy about is the size of the fuel tank. I feel like just 5 more gallons and the fuel tank will be a perfect size. That's an extra potentially 100 miles between fill-ups on the highway when you're making these long trips. And when you're going 5,000–6,000 miles on a trip, that adds up. And this truck is a complete blank slate right now, and that's actually a pretty good place to be. That gives me time to figure out what I like, what I don't like, what I'm gonna keep, what I'm gonna replace, instead of just throwing parts at it because I feel like I'm supposed to. Getting this truck came out of a situation I never would have chosen. The wreck set me back physically, changed what I could do, and changed a lot of plans that I had in my head. But that's usually where growth shows up, in the stuff you didn't plan for, in the things that slow you down or knock you off the path you thought you were on. This truck, this mountain, this little day trip, they're all part of working through that. Just another obstacle, another small mountain to climb. But that's okay. Right now, it's enough to be here, to feel the road under a new set of tires, to stand here in the quiet for a minute and take one small step forward. Thanks for riding along with us on this little day trip out here to Cheaha Mountain. I've got a lot of ideas for where this truck is going and where it's gonna take us. But for today, this view and the silence is pretty much all that I need.